This is the acoustic guitar part for Star of Wonder. It's a capo 6, and there's a picking part in the beginning, and then the strumming part on the latter 2/3 of the song, and it finishes up with some picking in the last line. So to jump in with the picking part, it's basically a pattern of playing the bass note and then playing the open G string and the B string with your third finger on the third fret of the B string. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then you just change the bass note. So to the next chord is a G, next chord A minor 7, so you're gonna hit the open A, and that next line is a C on beat 1. You play the G and the B string, beat 2, and then you're going to go down to G B, so you're playing the B bass note, beat 3. So that last measure is 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So the intro sounds like this. So that pattern kind of holds for a lot of the verse. There's a D4 over F sharp. You're gonna a normal D4. You'd put your first finger on the G string, but we're gonna leave that open just for this picking part, and use your thumb to get that F sharp bass note. And then at the end of the verse 2, when you get to that C9, C2, you're just gonna play a C bass note, and then open G, B string, beats 2 and 3. Now, when you're playing these bass notes, you don't need to play the full chord. When you're strumming, you have to play the full chord. But for the bass notes, since you're plucking them, you can really just put your finger down where you need that bass note. Now, you can play the full chord. There's nothing wrong with it, but you don't need to. The chorus goes like this. And then the last, over light, the E minor 7th is in parentheses, and that means that you just jump right down to the interlude. Okay, so when the interlude starts there, it goes into strumming. The person playing goes into strumming with basically their fingernail. So we can try that, but we may wind up needing to use a pick. Disadvantage of the pick is then you gotta grab it. It's much easier to go right into with your fingernail. But we can kind of try and see what works best. I'm just for purposes, I'm gonna play with a pick, so it's a little easier. So when you get to the starting with the interlude, the strumming pattern is down, down, up, down, up. So it's down on beat 1, and then down, up on, and then down, up on the 2 and 3 and. So 1, 2, and 3 and. Down, down, up, down, up. And that moves pretty fast. Song is, it's in 3/4 138. That's pretty fast. So I'd recommend starting out with there's a recording I posted on Planning Center for 75% speed of the original speed, And that playing along with that first will help you get acclimated to the chords and the chord changes, picking pattern and all that. So during the verses they add a C minor, which is a little tricky, but you're coming from an A minor 11th, which is played in this song like this. And then you're going to take your second finger, put it on the 3rd fret of the A string, first finger on the 1st fret of the D string. The trick is just kind of spreading your fingers out like that. It's a little awkward. So that line, sorrow and sighing, goes. So I'll just go ahead and play verse 2 and the chorus. The chorus doesn't have any odd chords to it, but when you, in the verse 2 and chorus, when you get to the D4 of F sharp, do play your first finger on the G string. That's a true D4, D sustained, and then your thumb on the bass F sharp. So starting verse 2. Okay, verse 3, same chord, strumming patterns, verse 2. The chorus at the end, westward leading, still proceeding. That proceeding gets a B chord, which is played in the open style B chord, where you're letting the open B and E string ring out. That trick is then getting back to the position of the E minor 7th. So that last line, starting with westward leading, sounds like this. And then at the ending there, right before Through the Fields, you hit that E minor 7th and just let it ring. And then you come back in on Messiah Was Worth Every Mile, and that goes back to the finger pig pattern. So, and then just end with the bass C note. So it sounds like that last line again is. And that's the whole song. Again, practice at the 75% speed. That will really help. Just kind of making you feel more comfortable with the song, and then work your way up to the full speed. And you can practice some of those weird kind of chords that are fit in there, like the C minor, the B. I want to just practice those transitions kind of separately over and over again to make sure you feel comfortable.